Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to our mindfulness practice. Today's topic is about coping. The name of today's topic is coping, but differently. So, that's the real question here. What do you do? What should we do when our typical methods of coping aren't available to us? And and I have to say, my situation is particularly unique in the fact that, and so and I'll come from that perspective, in that I knew that there was an end, and that's what's really interesting too, is because of the cold, that ending of the difficult time got extended out. So my response to it was of a lot of disappointment, a lot of I didn't respond as well as I had hoped I would, and I think that's I think it's really important. One of the things that I try to do as a teacher, not just a teacher on Insight Timer, but as a teacher of mindfulness-based stress reduction. So this is part of our training as teachers of MBSR, is to always teach out of our own practice and what's true to us and our own authentic experience. And so that is to share with you what's real and what's true, and not to idealize meditation in any way, or sit in the position of the teacher, that like I'm way over here as the teacher and you're there as the person listening to the teacher. I think it's really important to know that the same kind of struggles, or maybe it isn't even the same kind of struggles, that my struggles are my struggles, but the idea behind being authentic, and the authenticity in the class of MBSR, is so that if there is some experience that the teacher, or maybe more often the co-students are having in the class, that it's something that could potentially be shared amongst everybody, that it's an experience that is not unique. It's an experience that, because I'm able to share my experience with you exactly the way it is, there might be something in you that this experience resonates with. So that's really kind of where I want to come from. And I think that coping in times when my typical coping strategies aren't available, it's been really challenging. And I guess that's really what I want to share with you, is knowing that those 5 pillars of mental health that I've talked about, which are meditation, eating well, exercise, staying hydrated, and sleeping enough. That I'd say sleeping enough and staying hydrated, was able to do, and I'd say the rest of them kind of were a lot more difficult. And even meditation, I have to say, partially because I was on painkillers, right, and that made it a lot harder to have the energy to stay focused. And I've certainly experienced the consequences of not having these. And I think we talk about how mindfulness is kind of the ground floor to the mental health experience, because you get an idea, honestly, without judging yourself, of where you are. And I've often liked to use this analogy of reading a roadmap, and I suppose that's maybe a obsolete one these days, because we all have smartphones that have a GPS in them, right? And I think that's the thing, right? When you've got a GPS, you always know where you are. And so that's really what mindfulness is, kind of like our GPS. Because when you open a map, it's great instructions. You can see all the different places. but you can't get to where you're going if you don't know where you are. And that's really what this practice is able to show us, is to give us a glimpse as to where we are. And you can't find out where you are if you aren't honestly willing to accept it, right? If I'm trying to think that I'm in Sedona and I'm not actually in in downtown Phoenix, that's going to certainly affect the directions that I take to try to get to the place that I want to go. So this really is my one of my main reasons for practicing mindfulness, is so that I can really know where I am, and to do it with honesty. And and I guess and this is the other interesting thing about not meditating, and taking more than a week off at a stretch of meditating, is kind of losing that GPS. So not knowing exactly where I am, and I think what happens for me, and it may happen for you as well, is thinking that I'm better off than I actually am, and that ends up causing me more harm for myself and more harm for those around me. So what happens? I mean, let me. I'll break it down for you a little bit. So when I'm not exercising, when I'm stuck in bed for a few weeks at a time, I can definitely see that my mood does deteriorate. I think I've kind of talked about it before, that I don't have bipolar disorder, but like most people, I can see that I move from different states of high energy and low energy. And there are certain things that I know that can help to trigger those low energy states and bring me into places that are like depression. And in fact, I have experienced the low energy state with mindfulness enough times that I have been able to identify recurring intrusive thoughts that are a little roadmap. It's like a little roadmap that let me know, that go, hey, this is the precursor to depression, right? I know that it's coming up, and so that knowledge of where I am lets me begin to be prepared for it, and to take action, and to know that what are the things that typically happen. I'm more isolated, right? And like, that's kind of a self-fulfilling thing, right? When I stay isolated, it causes it to the down feeling causes me to want to be isolated, and being isolated reinforces that down feeling, right? It's this kind of downward spiral. And so, what are the things that I can do is to actively reach out to the people in my household, to friends that are around me. Hey, can I come over and hang out with you while you're recovering from your surgery? If the answer is yes, sometimes that can be helpful. So knowing that that's coming up. And I think the other important thing, at least in my situation, is knowing that there is an end in sight. Knowing that this is not going to last forever, that this is not a permanent state, also lets me be a bit easier on myself in these difficult times. To not force myself to go, oh, you have to meditate, right? Or my body's deteriorating. Think of the progress that I'm losing because I'm not exercising. Think of the weight that I'm gaining because I'm not eating healthily right now, right? So to know that all of this, there's an end in sight, lets me be easier on myself in this difficult time, which makes it so that the difficult time isn't so intense. To just say, hey, this is where I am right now, and it's going to be over at some point in time. can I be cool with the way things are as best that I can? It doesn't mean I have to be happy every moment. What can I do to help? And also to recognize that this time is part of my life too, just like happy times are a part of my life. Don't try to rush through them. Don't try to deny that this is a part of the time of my life, because it's going to be here for a while. Is it possible to enjoy it with as best that I can while it's here? So these pieces of knowledge help me to cope during those times. And today I'm going back to my doctor to see if I finally have some approval to do some exercise. So I'd love to get back to some of my routine, but in the meantime, I am doing my best not to anticipate him giving me the green light to go, hey, I've got to take it easy. I may need to take it easy for a while longer. And I think I can be okay with that. But I do have to say that this sickness that I got, that it was very disappointing. That elongation of this time of not being able to do something was disappointing, and it did kind of it did lower my mood significantly for this like final week. So, okay, thanks everybody for being here. We're going to get into our meditation here soon. I am going to read the chat a little bit here. And thanks everybody for your comments in the chat. Like this is, this is why I love doing live events. I love interacting with everybody, and I hope that you get something good out of the talking period as well. These are good, Karen. Thanks so much for your interaction in the chat. I think there's a lot to unpack here. So let's go ahead and let's do the meditation, and then we'll then I'll get in then I'll interact with the chat a little bit more. So good to see you too, Fernando. Welcome. Let's go ahead and get comfortable. So find a posture that is going to be comfortable for you. And if you are like cooking or have some kind of active thing that you're doing, what you can do is use physical sensations of the activity you're doing as the grounding anchor for your meditation today. So if you are able to sit comfortably, just find a posture that is comfortable. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I'd invite you just to take a moment to observe the sensations of breath. So even if you're moving around, while you're moving around, just bring a bit of your attention to the sensation of breathing. See if that's possible. So that's one of the reasons that we use breathing as one of the primary anchors of the meditative practice. It's because it's constantly having some physical effect on the body. So one of the physical effects that you can notice is how your body expands and contracts. So you can feel your abdomen expanding and contracting. the rib cage expanding and contracting as you breathe. You can feel air moving through your nostrils. You can feel your shoulders rising and falling, perhaps. And so, what is the state of your breath right now? Are you breathing quickly? Are you breathing shallowly? Are you breathing deeply or in a long way? And the idea here isn't to manipulate the breath or to change the breath. It's simply to observe, to become aware of what the state is right now. And by observing the state, that alone may start to have some effect on what's going on. Can you feel the state of the body? What is this body that's here right now like? Are you tense? Are you relaxed? So maybe taking a moment to shift the attention a little bit from the physical sensation of breath to sensations in the face. When you observe the forehead, what is there? And so again, this isn't about judging or changing anything. It's just we're getting a signal from our GPS. Where are we? What is the state that I'm in? What are the physical sensations and the physical indicators that I find in my body? And so, we're kind of like the computer. We're triangulating the signals from the satellites. Okay, let's see. Tight forehead. Tight eyebrows. What does that mean? And I would encourage you to step away from the typical labels that you might use, the default labels that you go to when you observe. Is it possible to really, get triangulate, right? Is it possible to get all three GPS, all three satellite signals before determining or trying to determine where you are, right? Observe the breath. Observe sensations in the face. How about the muscles around the eyes? How about sensations in the cheeks? The ears? The nose? What about the jaw? Can you feel tightness in the jaw? Are the bottom teeth and the top teeth clenched together? Is it possible to, through that awareness, let that relax. Let it go just a little bit, just from observing. I'll invite you now to bring attention to the neck and the shoulders. And now can you bring attention to your upper back? To your lower back? Observing what is. Sensations in the chest. And sensations in the belly. Inside the abdomen as well. In the stomach, the intestines, is everything stationary or is something moving around? And so I know some people who are here today are not sitting still. So if you're in the middle of doing something while you're listening to this event, what do you experience in your hands? And even if you're sitting still, maybe your hands are folded in your lap. In that case, can you feel the right hand in contact with the left hand? So concentrating on the sensations in the left hand. So maybe you're holding something. Sensations in the fingertips. If your hands are folded, the sensation of the right fingers on the left hand. And then releasing that. Concentrating the attention on the right hand. Sensations in the fingertips, pressure of something you might be holding. And so I'll invite you to let go of the attention in the right hand and bring your attention back to the breath where we started. Does it seem the same as it did 12 minutes ago? Has the pace changed? Has the quality changed? Has the quality of your experience changed any way? And just a reminder, there is no right answer. The answer that you discover is the right answer. So you're not supposed to feel some way. You're not supposed to feel better than you did 12 minutes ago. If you don't feel better, that's okay. If you feel worse, that's okay. If you feel better, that's okay. Can you be honest with yourself how you feel? And there is one thing that is true, and that is that things are always changing. So even if you think that things are completely identical to what they were 12 minutes ago, they are different. This breath, the one you're taking right now, is different from this breath, the one that you're taking right now. No two breaths are exactly alike. If we really learn to tune in our attention, we can start to feel the difference of every single breath. Inhalation and exhalation have different effects on the body. The normal heartbeat is called sinus rhythm. And that's because as we inhale, our heartbeat speeds up. And as we exhale, our heartbeat slows down. So if you're really, really in tune, maybe you can even notice that subtle difference. Can you feel your heartbeat as you're breathing? So that's the invitation. To notice the truth of what is in every single moment. That's mindfulness. Can you feel each breath? Can you notice what's going on from moment to moment? So I'm going to stop talking for a little while and just give you a few moments to tune into what is. And that can be focusing on the breath, that can be feeling the sensations in the hands and the fingertips, it can be noticing the face, it can be noticing sounds that are around you that come and go. What I would encourage you to do is just pick one thing and stick to it. So if you're choosing observing the sensation on the fingertips, just making that the object of meditation for the next few minutes. If you're observing the sensation of the belly as it rises and falls with the breath, just continuing to choose that. If you're noticing present moment sounds, just choosing that and letting that be the object of your meditation for the next few minutes. And if at any point you find your mind wanders, you're focusing on something other than the thing that you've chosen, just remembering what you chose, letting go of whatever distracted you as best you can, and coming back to that object of meditation. Okay, congratulations, everybody. Our meditation time's up. It's time for us to start drawing our practice to its close, and so I'll close this practice with 3 rings of the bell. After the sound of the bell subsides, you can feel free to begin to transition out of your period of meditation and into the period of the rest of your life. All right. Well done. Thanks everybody for being here and joining in this time of practice today. How did it go for you? What's your experience? And I'm going to look at, have a look at the chat. Something I've kind of got an idea to do while I was away. I think I kind of, while you're by yourself, in these kind of times, not able to do too much, I did get a lot of ideas. One of them was to add maybe a reflection question at the end of our meditation. So not only to talk about what we have been talking about, but maybe something else too. So let's just start with something that maybe we've done before. So like, what are you grateful for? So if you would like to share about that or anything else that's coming up for you, you are more than welcome to do so. Hi, Rachel. Great to see you. It is, yes. I have recorded I am in the process of recording this right now. So if you've missed this and you want to see it, I have a place where the recordings are, and I'm pleased to tell you now that Insight Timer seems like it's finally going to be making the recordings of the live events available to people here on Insight Timer. So you won't need to go off of the platform to see the recordings. I believe. That's what I heard from Chris Plowman, who's the CEO of Insight Timer. So I believe that's coming up. So that's really exciting. I'm going to dedicate one of my events coming up to some of the changes in Insight Timer because I'm excited about them, and I'm hoping to be able to share a little bit of that with you, just so that you understand what's going on, and also like how it changes how I might interact. Sybil says, I'm grateful that my foot is recovering so I can square dance again. Hooray. Thank you. Jean says, busy monkey mind today. Thanks, Jean. And I just want to go back to this question from Karen. It says, how about there is no one to reach out to, and that moment I do too much because I need to help myself, but it makes me more anxious? Well, this seems like it's a kind of a multi-part question. So how about there's no one to reach out to? And I guess the question is, first, why is there no one to reach out to? And is it possible for you to begin to have a community of people to reach out to? And, there are lots of ways, and I understand when you're feeling depressed or low energy, that this may not be one of the things that's easy for you. It also may not be a part of your personality to want to reach out. Excuse me. And, the very first thing that I can think of when it comes to reaching out for community is our community here on Insight Timer. I think that's one of the things that is a real joy for me, and I think a lot of the people who are here on the live event today. That's one of the things that, when I'm away for surgery, or I'm sick or something, it's, there is still activity, and I'm very pleased to see that Gene and a lot of other people have been continuing on and doing meditations through Insight Timer groups, and doing meditations together and able to chat with each other. That keeps the community going. But it is nice. I mean, there are 92 people here right now, and I know a lot of people. We do find that chatting during the live events can really help to kind of reinforce this feeling of community. So, I guess that's my first kind of suggestion is, join this community on Insight Timer groups. In the app, in the upper left-hand corner, there's 3 little lines, and you can open that, and down near the bottom, there's a groups tab, and you can find this group, which is Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle. And that could be a potential start. That this is a group of people that are here, that join most of a lot of these live events, and meditate when we're not here live as well, and chat about things. So that could be a potential start. Yeah, and that this is it. It's like, maybe I feel like a burden, or I don't want to trouble other people. People who have common interests start to get to know each other, and we'll reach out and care for each other. And I really think that this is a great community, and it's one that keeps going on and keeps supporting each other. And I've got this scratching at the door. I'll be right back. The scratching is extremely distracting. Look at that. It looks like he always looks like he's in a bad mood. I opened the door. You should be happy. Well, how do we know which is better for us? Boy, that's this is the question, right? This is what takes the experience and what takes the practice. So, reach out to the community here on Insight Timer. This is one of the. I love online. I need, what I personally need is good community. So whether I'm here on Insight Timer or doing other things, I'm looking for a good community, not the kind of toxic stuff that I kind of stay away from the toxic stuff. I don't, there are certain websites, certain social media I don't use. And the ones I do use, I use hesitatingly. Because it's hard to be in contact without any social media at all. So, that's, can you pick and choose? Gene says, a lot of people in the Insight Timer community felt they had no one until they joined the Insight Timer community. Thanks so much, Gene, for sharing. Let's see. Rachel asks, will you be offering the regular sessions again now? Will it go back to Tuesday, Thursday? Yes, it will. So it will at least start out with that, and I'm considering adding more sessions as well. So I'll keep you posted about that as things develop. Oh, Gene says, I think many teachers are offering the recording off platform. Yeah, I guess that's how it is, but I do hope that will. I hope the Insight. I really feel like Insight Timer is losing out by not offering these recordings to the community. So I think that's going to happen. self-compassion, common humanity. Irma says, grateful to have you back. I'm grateful that I can be back. I'm grateful that, I mean, it's still a bit tender here, but it's nice to be back, and it's nice to be able to breathe a little bit better too. Thanks, Jean, for your donation. Thank you, Andrea, for your donation. So, yeah, a cat. The cat is Frank. He's Frank the cat, and he is I guess he's the real star of the show. Um, yeah, join Karen. I just invite you to join Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle, and keep chatting with us there when we're offline. It's 6:16 a.m. here in Singapore, so I need to get my kids, wake my kids up and get them ready for school. So I'm gonna sign off now. Um, Karen says sometimes we want an easy solution, but it doesn't happen, and sometimes just have a try, right? Have a try to like reaching out to community as a first step. And I guess that's the other thing I'll just say about mindfulness is it isn't an easy solution. Coming to the cushion and meditating every day and focusing on the present moment takes effort. And I think that's why mindfulness was kind of a fad, is because people, it was really popular for about 3 to 5 years, and then people realized, hey, actually, I have to work at this, right? I have to practice. So it's great to be back. Thanks everybody again for being here, and I will be back in about 47 hours. So look forward to seeing you again soon. It's my pleasure to be here as always, and I wish you all the best. So let's close practice the way that we do, sending well wishes out to ourselves and to everybody else. So follow along with me if you will. Just repeat after me if you like. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone who's watching or listening here today, I wish you all happiness and peace. And may all human beings on this planet, big and small, near and far, may we all be happy and peaceful. Thanks so much for joining. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, bye-bye.